Carly. Everybody meet the wonderful Carly. She is a velocity trainer out east, or account manager out east with us here, and she's going to be taking us through.
Thanks so much, Sarah. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. I'm just going to go ahead and start sharing my screen, and we can start talking about the much anticipated calculators.
Guys, any questions I'm going to ask, please put them in the chat. If I don't answer them right away, I'll try to get them because I just don't want to interrupt Carly while she's in her flow.
No worries. You can interrupt me. It's not a problem. So if anyone has not noticed yet, this calculator button should appear in the top right corner of your screen. It should be there now. It should be there in any page you go to. So if I go into a deal, it's still up there. So I can access these calculators from anywhere in the system, super easily accessible. So if I click to expand, we can see there's actually 5 different calculators here. Sarah just spoke about the calculators from Bendeji. So that's going to be these 4 calculators at the bottom. So the last 4 are here. Again, you should already have access to all of these calculators through MA, but we've kind of gone ahead and just included them within Velocity as well. So they're super easy to access, as well as created a way to actually share those scenarios super easily with your clients as well. But we'll get to that in a minute, because for me, the real star of the show here is the scenario builder. So this is our kind of Velocity scenario builder calculator. And this gives you the ability not only to run scenarios, but also to compare different scenarios and different payment frequencies, just to really make sure that your clients are getting the best deal possible and saving as much money as possible. And basically you're giving them the best service that you can. So really awesome tool. So as you'll see, I clicked into it and it just kind of opens up this pop-up in the screen. So it doesn't navigate you away from whatever page you're already in.
I love that, because you can be in the file, go on along doing your stuff and then pull up the calculator and exit out, pull it back up. So that's nice. You don't have to redirect the page.
Exactly. And if someone calls you, you can kind of get into it for a quick conversation and then kind of get back to what you're doing. So it is definitely a nice feature. So with the scenario calculator, there's a few options. So what you're going to do, first of all, is enter the mortgage amount that your client's looking for. So I'm just going to put 500,000 in for an example. The next option here is your calculation type. So this is where you're either selecting payment or amortization. So if you're selecting payment, this is where you're actually looking for the best payment option. So you want to see how much those payments are going to be for your clients. With amortization, this is if you already have a payment amount in mind and you just want to know how long it's going to take for your client to actually pay off this mortgage at that payment amount. So you can select between the 2 options to run slightly different scenarios and just do different comparisons there. So I'm going to go with payment for starters. And basically, we're going to start by entering a term. So I'm going to go ahead and choose a 5-year term here. And then you have your payment frequencies. So it's listing all of the different payment frequencies you have. So basically what you're doing here, just say you have a client who they're unsure of what payment frequency is going to provide them with the most savings. So really that's what you're doing here, is determining which of these frequencies is going to put your client in the best situation. So let's go ahead and choose monthly, semi-monthly, bi-weekly, and we can do weekly as well, just so we have those 4 options. And then you're going to put in your interest rate. I'm going to go with 5% here, and your amortization. So I'll go with 25 years, and then you just go ahead and click run comparison. Super instantaneous, comes up right away, and it's basically just giving you information on each of those different payment frequencies that you've selected, all side by side. So my first card here that shows up, this is showing me the monthly payment. So again, this is with a $500,000 mortgage at a 5% interest rate, 5-year term, 25-year amortization. And that monthly payment would be $2,908. And then you have all of your interest and information below. And again, you have this for each of those different payment amounts that you've chosen. So the really cool thing here is I can actually favorite one of these scenarios and then actually see what that difference is. So to do that, I would select the star button. So if I click here, I've made this monthly scenario my favorite. So now all of these other scenarios are being compared to my favorite. And I can actually see exactly what the difference in interest payments over the term would be. So for example, in this case, because it's a 5-year term, I can see that if my clients go with a semi-monthly payment versus a monthly payment, they would actually be saving $203 over 5 years. So it just helps to show you exactly what's going on here. You can see that if they were choosing biweekly, they'd save $218. If they chose weekly, they'd actually be paying more in interest over the term with a difference of $107. So it really just gives you the exact breakdown so you can see exactly what's going on here. I can also change my favorite. So if I want to favorite this weekly option, then I would see the interest difference with my other scenarios as compared to this weekly option here. And again, it's all color coded. So you can see that with the green, these are all favorable scenarios. So basically the weekly option here is going to be the least, the worst payment plan for the client, whereas biweekly, semi-monthly, or monthly, they would have savings compared to that. So
that's really great. Yeah, I love that it's side by side as well. So just to note, guys, you have to click the star button at the top in order for that comparison to generate, right, Carly?
Yeah, exactly. And it'll turn green to show you exactly which one you've chosen as your favorite and compare the other options here.
Okay.
So
couple questions coming in before we move on. Can you do this with a HELOC?
No, you cannot. So it's fairly kind of basic options at this point. It's really just kind of for mortgages at this point.
Okay, maybe a takeaway there. Can we select a compounding frequency?
So no, the only frequencies are accelerated that I haven't included are accelerated biweekly and accelerated weekly. Basically in this calculator, that's really all that we're showing here. But what you can do is if I am interested in getting those additional frequencies to see how they compare, I can actually unlock or exit out of the scenarios that I'm not interested in. So maybe I'm not interested in this weekly payment. So I just want to kind of unlock that one. And I'm also not interested in the monthly payment. And I want to compare accelerated biweekly and accelerated weekly. I would click to run that comparison again, and it's actually going to replace those two scenarios with the accelerated biweekly and accelerated weekly payments here. And then again, I can go ahead and star my favorite, and it'll show me exactly what I'm saving in interest. So in this case, I can see that with an accelerated biweekly payment, this is going to provide my client with the most savings. I'm actually saving almost $2,000 over 5 years here. So
wow, okay. Is this printable, exportable, shareable?
Good question. So it's not at the moment. That is something we are working on, but what we would recommend at this point is just to take a screenshot of basically the different options here, and then you can share that with your client.
So it's the scenario builder though? No, sorry, which one can we pull reports on?
You can share all of the additional calculators, which I'll go into when we get into this
okay,
one,
just not this one yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the kind of scenario builder and the comparison here that we don't have the ability to send as of now. But again, that is coming in a future update.
Okay. Can we switch to amortization and just see what that looks like?
For sure. Yeah. So if I click amortization, first of all, I just want to clear this to get rid of what I had there. So quick and easy, click of a button, and then I can switch over to amortization. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the same mortgage amount and choose a term. And then again, you can select those different payment frequencies. So I'll go with a few of those, add my interest rate in. And now I'm entering a payment amount. So in this case, let's say I want to have a $2,000 payment amount. I can click to run that comparison and it'll tell me exactly what the amortization period would be here. So in this case, this one doesn't really make sense because $2,000 a month on a $500,000 mortgage isn't going to happen. We can just remove that option and I can see what I'm left with. So with a semi-monthly payment, it's going to take 14 years, 8 months, etc. And you can run those kind of comparisons again by using the star to show you how much you'd be saving. So it's just a different way to look at it. Again, comparing payments rather than comparing the amortization, using the amortization. And in this case, it actually makes a lot more sense to kind of unlock some of these scenarios, and then I can actually change my payment amount. So what if I had a $3,000 payment and I want to compare monthly and semi-monthly? So then this would replace with those options. This is with $3,000 monthly. And this is with $2,000 biweekly, etc. So you can kind of like switch up your different scenarios and then re-click again to see exactly what you'd be saving with the different.
Oh yeah, that's great. So you can change payment amount and show side by side differences.
Exactly. So
wow.
I'll go back to, let's compare monthly here with 2,000. So there you go. So monthly with 3,000 versus monthly paying 2,000. And I can see the difference there, although that's not coming up.
I have a question about them not seeing the amortization table at the bottom of theirs. Guys, usually when they do these updates, you do need to do a quick clear your cache / cookies on your computer just for refreshing and seeing those updates come through. So give that a try. I dare to ask when the last time you cleared your cache cookies, because I know that that's something a lot of people remember to do. So if you are seeing kind of something different on your screen, please use that as the first kind of troubleshooting.
Also, side note on that, I am in the test environment. I'm not sure if it has actually been released to our production environment yet. So that might be why you're not seeing the option to view the amortization table, but you can be assured that is coming shortly, because again, it is already in our test environment. So sorry for the discrepancy there at this point, but again, and it'll just give you the option to click it and see all of those payments in the amortization. So
awesome.
So yeah, that's kind of our scenario builder. Are there any other questions about this one before I jump into those other calculators, Sarah, or any comments, questions, anything like that?
Is there a reason, will it not show amortization less than 30 years? Yes, I believe we did see that, didn't we? That's a question.
Of less than 30 years?
Yeah, so when you ran it, run comparison, we saw effective amortization.
So again, this one I don't think makes sense necessarily.
Okay, this might be something kind of in the works.
So it does show different amortization periods. I'm not sure I understand the question.
Yeah, that's showing different amortization periods there.
Yeah, and then if you do switch to payment, this is when you.
Oh, great. They're asking if you can do greater than 30 years. I doubt it. That's not very common scenario.
Try it. No, it doesn't like it. I think it max here.
Okay.
You try.
All right, let's
oh yeah, it does 35.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay. All right, let's pull up one of the other ones.
Okay, perfect. So we'll exit out of the scenario builder. Sorry, I have my Zoom screens all over the place here. So the next option is just the mortgage calculator. And again, these are all taken from BenDG. They're meant to be kind of really quick and simple calculators to use. So for example, this mortgage calculator, this is basically just, it's based on your mortgage amount, and it's just going to give you the payment breakdown. So I would enter my mortgage amount, I would enter my payment frequency. in this case, you're only putting one frequency. So it's not a comparison. You're not running scenarios like you were with the previous calculator. This is just kind of getting a quick breakdown of exactly what those payments would be. So that's the main difference here. So you'd set your payment frequency. I'll keep it on monthly. You'd set your rate, your term, your amortization, and basically it'll all kind of just pop up on the right here with your payment breakdown. So you can also, what's really cool is select pay your mortgage faster, and you can show exactly what kind of benefit any kind of extra payments would have. So
that's great. Yeah.
You can kind of, you know, if I add like 2,000 here, it'll show me exactly what the difference is, the balance with the extra payment versus just the balance. So
yeah, like, could you afford another maybe 300 a month or something? Because if you can, that's gonna, you know, lower your interest payments by this much. And very interesting scenario over there. I love that. Look at that graph even in real time. So clean, so slick.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the benefit of this calculator here. Again, pretty simple, not a ton of bells and whistles, just really kind of simple, good for getting your point across and just kind of helping your client see exactly what kind of benefits any extra payments would make, as well as basic what these payments would look like. The cool thing about this is you can actually share this report with your clients. So I can send over this scenario to them and say, yeah, here, take a look. So if you just click share report, basically all you're doing is adding your recipient. You can either search your contacts and add a recipient, or just add first name, last name, email, click add recipient. The next step's the email content. So this is where you're just including your note, hello, whatever you want to say to your client, as well as your subject line, mortgage scenario. And then basically it would include your email signature from your settings if you've included one there. And it includes this report as an attachment. So I actually sent one to myself earlier, which I'll pull up just so we can see it. Can we all see my email here?
Yep, got it.
Okay. Perfect. So we have the subject line, we have the text that I've input to the client. And then when I open the attachment, it kind of comes up as a nice, colorful, pretty attachment. It has the date on it, and then it just has all of my information. So the monthly payment, the mortgage amount, blah, blah, blah. And it shows you exactly kind of what's going on, as well as has the full amortization below. So
we have a question. Can you download the report just straight as PDF, or did you need to email it? Because I can see from here now that you've popped it up, it has the button that'll allow you to download, share, or save. But straight from Velocity, can you just download PDF, or is this an email scenario?
You can't, you would have to email it to get that PDF. If you do, just even if you don't want to send the email, if you just go to this page, you can just click on this and it'll download as well. So it's just not available directly from the calculator page. But again, I can cancel this email now, and I've downloaded that PDF on my computer. So you would just kind of have to share report and then send
it to yourself. And
yeah,
that's easy enough. Yeah.
Click here.
You can have yourself in the contacts too, guys. If you just go to contact on the left side menu bar, add contact, you can add your name, add yourself with your email, so that you don't have to type it out every time. It should just pop up as you go and type it in.
Yeah. Yeah. So
on those emails too, sorry, kindly worth noting, if you have your email signature on your settings page, which hopefully all of you do, that's going to pop up in those emails too that go to your clients. So make sure to get those email signatures set up on your settings page.
Yeah, that will pre-populate. So that's always good. So yeah, so there's your kind of calculator here. Again, just for quickly calculating mortgage payments. Moving on. So that was the mortgage. The next one is the purchase calculator. So this is basically going to give you the total monthly costs, including closing costs. And it's really a good estimate of the affordability because it's a bit more accurate than just with pulling up those payments, because it is including additional fees that are coming up. So if I update my location, for example, to Montreal, you can see the closing cost change, because this is actually taking into account into account the land transfer tax, or in Quebec, as it's called, the taxe de bienvenue. But basically every province that you switch it to, it's going to come up with a different cost. So it's really kind of taking into account an accurate representation of exactly what your clients will be paying. And again, you would just enter your price, your down payment, your payment frequency, your location, which again is quite important, the rate, the term, the amortization. And then again, you can add additional options here as well, because to really make this super accurate. So
that's great.
Yeah. So pay your mortgage faster. So again, this would be any kind of extra payments and what kind of a difference that would make. So again, let's just do a $300 extra payment here. I can also add taxes and expenses. So if I know that I have condo fees on this unit, and how much those are going to cost, I can add in condo fees, and that'll kind of affect that cost.
Wow.
As well as rental.
Super accurate picture.
Yeah. So if you have any income coming in on this property as well, you can even use that and offset it there. So it really does give a really good overview of exactly what this is going to cost on whatever monthly, whatever kind of basis, whatever your payment frequency you go with. So
question here, does this take into account changes in compounding frequency? I don't think so.
Good point. I don't think so. It is pretty, again, it's meant to be like kind of a simple tool, just to really quickly and easily get to these numbers. I don't know if it includes that, although you can again view the amortization schedule and see exactly what's going on if you want.
Another question, when changing additional closing costs, is it stored or does it need to be entered each time?
You mean if I am to exit out of here and then come back into this calculator, or?
I think that's what they mean. William, I don't know. Do you want to elaborate on that? Yes, for appraisals, he's saying.
So if I like click out of this,
add closing costs, click out, come back in, is it still there?
I believe.
Hello?
No,
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just to elaborate on the closing costs, you could choose what the additional costs are. So you go to closing costs. So there's moving costs, inspection, all that kind of stuff. Now, is there a way to just store the number there? So right now it's at 0. So obviously you would have to go customize and change it. But is there a way to just store it so you each time they'll have closing costs like set baked in there? Does that make sense?
Good
It's
point.
stored.
I don't think so. I think it's because it is just kind of based on each scenario. Like they're supposed to be kind of separate scenarios. So I don't think that you can save those in the system. But that is a good point. And I'll definitely bring that one up to the team. Because yeah, at this point, you're right. It's kind of, it seems to disappear each time. So yeah.
Right. This is great though. It paints such an accurate picture, taking into account, you know, all details and all affordability for your client, which is really great.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, we've got a note here. You can change the compounding frequency, Jody. Thanks for letting us know, by clicking on the gear beside the total monthly cost. Okay, there. So that, yeah, the little gear there.
Ah,
here we go, Jody. To see, we all come together and learn. I love this.
Yeah,
learning from each other. None of us are the experts.
There you go.
Thanks, Jody. Jody, we'll just have you come on next time, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, cool. There you go. So, okay.
Love it. Good. Okay.
It's better than I thought. Cool. Okay. So there you go. So that's the purchase calculator. I'm going to move on to the next one, closing costs calculator. This is basically just providing you with a total of the closing expenses. So again, it kind of all plays into that last calculator that we looked at, but this is just kind of, again, overview of those closing costs. And location is obviously very important when it comes to this because of the different taxes in different throughout Canada. So just say I want to put in Calgary here, and that's going to update. Wow, that's nice, isn't it? Calgary here.
That's awesome.
And then, yeah, you have your home price, you have your down payment, amortization, and you can add different ancillary costs as well here.
Very nice.
Kind of similar, fairly simple, not the most complicated one for sure.
Oh, it's a
And-
language change as well. Do we have French too?
Yes, you can go to French if you're looking for the report in French, and if your client's in French as well, when you go and send that to them, it'll be in French too. So
Fantastic. We love it.
good to have bilingual in here. And the last calculator is the land transfer calculator. Again, pretty easy. This is basically just giving you an overview of what that land transfer tax adds up to. So in this case, again, we're back in Toronto. You have your home price of $500,000, and it'll tell you exactly what that land transfer tax is going to be for that location. You can also offset it. So if you're a first-time home buyer, you can add that rebate in so you can see exactly what that goes down to. Or if you're a foreign buyer, it'll up a bit as well.
Oh, I love that, guys. We're gonna have new to Canada mortgages next week on Tip Tuesday. So make sure to tune in. But that foreign buyer calculator there, that's a really good thing. I love that little map too, how the highlights switch province by province. It's just so smart and intuitive, isn't it?
Yeah, it also gives you the full breakdown as well. So if you are wondering what this number is based
Wow,
on
yeah.
in this case, when you change different locations, it'll tell you exactly what's going on. So Alberta,
That's really great for your clients as well. You can provide them with that.
yeah, exactly. Versus
We have a question here that I knew was going to come up. So it does say, yes, you're correct. Get this for your website in the bottom-ish right corner.
Yeah.
So if I may, Carly, I think what that is essentially there is potentially a capability to sign up with Vendigi to get these embedded on your website so that you have them on your specific website. Now, you guys in your mortgage architect's designated website, you already have calculators on there. So if you ever go on your website and see there's a tab for calculators, so you're sorted there. But if you have an external website that you use, it's not mortgage architects, maybe you've got your own private site going, you can as well use your mortgage architects calculators on that one too. And there's no cost for that. But I believe if you do want to use these specific calculators, they're a bit more modern, updated, we've seen pretty slick. I believe that there might be a slight cost in order to get them embedded in your site through Vendigi Technologies. And again, that would be done through Vendigi website.
yeah, so good point. So as you saw when I clicked that, it does take you directly to Vendigi, and then it's basically you working with Vendigi, because we're again just borrowing these 4 calculators from Vendigi anyways and just making them available in Velocity. So that's, you can do the same thing on your website basically with these 4 here. But again, I believe there is a cost associated with that, but you would go through Vendigi to discuss all of the logistics there.
Okay, awesome. Do we have any other questions? Anything we're missing? Looks like we've had a lot of interaction so far, so hopefully we've got a lot of questions answered. Thanks, Jody. Jody says it looks great. Okay, so guys, this is recorded. I am going to be sharing a recording of this with everyone so that they can you can review and start to play around with the calculators. But yeah, I think first step towards learning, Carly, is just doing, right? Go ahead, play around with it.
Please do. Please play around. Please click around. You're not going to break anything. So yeah, definitely recommend it. It's right there. And yeah, if you have any
Super
questions,
easy.
let us
Top
know.
of the screen, right next to it is the help tab. So if you're having trouble with anything, that's the customer care department. You can reach out, and I did put in the chat, if you guys have suggestions or feedback, you can send them to that customer care at newton.ca address.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it. Please do.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Carly. It's always a pleasure. We're definitely going to have you back on soon for Tip Tuesday on the 14th. Carly's going to be here taking us through the client experience. So we want to look at how to customize your client-facing online application, how to update it on your website and stuff like that. And on Tuesday, again, on Tip Tuesday next week, 2 p.m. ET, we're going to have New to Canada. And maybe we can even play around with that calculator. Who knows? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.
Bye, Carly.